Hello and welcome to this episode of Understanding Demo Data and how data is maintained in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. My name is Paresh and let's get started. So in this video, we are going to get familiar with demo data and Contoso companies. We will also try to understand how the data is maintained in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, and also try to understand what are legal entities. All right, so here we are in our demo environment. And just like our previous video, let's just go into the accounts payable and then click on all vendors and see if our vendors list is available. Now when I come over here, I see that there are no vendors available, but we did see that in our previous video. Well, that is because previous video we were using a legal entity called USMF. And if I go and select over there, which is termed here as Contoso Entertainment System USA. So if I select Contoso Entertainment System USA, then I will see that there are a lot of vendor accounts available over here. So what does this mean? Now, as a Dynamics 365 consultant, if you're looking to provide some training, let's say to users on finance and operations, or you want to provide demonstrations to your clients, then it could be quite cumbersome to configure all the data in the system. So the data that you see over here is the data for demonstration purposes and has been provided by Microsoft for viewing, training, and for demo purpose. All right. So to be able to use this demo data, you need to be familiar with the legal entities. And these legal entities are a list of companies that you see over here in the drop down. So for example, you see Contoso Entertainment System USA, you see Contoso Entertainment System Thailand, so on and so forth. So what are these? So these are basically fictitious companies which are not real but have been provided so that you can use the demo data within these companies. So let's just try to understand the structure of these Contoso entertainment systems that are provided over here as fictitious companies. So Contoso Entertainment System is not just one legal entity, but is spread across various countries. So you have Contoso Entertainment Systems USA, you have Contoso Entertainment Systems Germany. You also have Contoso Entertainment System India, so on and so forth, right? You also have some subsidiary named Contoso Malaysia, Contoso Japan, and then you also have Contoso Retail USA. So basically a retail entity within USA. So all these are established as separate companies, or you can also call them as legal entities in terms of Dynamics 365 F&O, right? So the way to look at this is that within United States, we have two legal entities. One is Contoso Entertainment System USA and then Contoso Retail USA. And this is because we would like to differentiate the businesses as the financials for Contoso Entertainment System USA, for example, earnings, profits, etc., is different from the financials for Contoso Retail USA. Now, this means that they are legally registered as two different companies and are shown and managed as two different legal entities within the same Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations system. So let's come back to our demo environment again. And over here, you will notice that the legal entity which is selected is USMF, which is the short code for Contoso Entertainment System USA. All right. And you see all these vendor data available over here. Now, if I select some other legal entity, let's say Contoso Entertainment India, so that the short code is INMF, and if I select that, here you will notice that the vendor data is not the same. It is way different from what we saw in the USMF legal entity, right? What does this mean? Well, this means that the data within Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations is stored per legal entity. So the legal entity that you see over here will contain their own respective data. All right, so that's the difference, which means that the data is segregated per company. Now, since I am logged in as an administrator over here, so I have access to all these legal entities that you see over here, right? So I can just jump back and forth and select and go to any legal entity. But in practicality, the users who are working, let's say in Contoso Entertainment System India company, they will only be given to this particular legal entity. So they would not be able to sort of jump back and forth or access data from other companies as well. Now, apart from restricting users to only work in their particular legal entity, we can also restrict users within that same legal entity to only, let's say, for example, see or access vendor records, right? They should not be able to see customer records or sales order and so on and so forth. So all those are part of security configurations, which we'll see in upcoming videos. Now, while most of the data is company specific, there are instances where the data is common between the legal entities. So for example, if we go to our system administration, and under system administration, if we go to the users data, you will see the list of users over here. And please note that I'm in the legal entity Contoso Entertainment System India. All right. And if I look for the users list in another legal entity, let me go to USMF legal entity, and if I search for users here, then you will see that the data is sort of common over here, right? So you'll find admin, Alicia, April, Erin here, as well as the same in INMF as well. So there are certain instances where, for example, if there is a reference data which has to be used by all the users across the companies and it's a common form, then it's better to have that data common across all those entities or the companies. So we talked about Contoso being a fictitious company. So let's try to understand what is the business of this fictitious Contoso company. Well, the Contoso company is in the business of selling car audio systems, TV and video units, audio systems, and also personal computers. So what Contoso does is that they purchase raw materials from different suppliers, and then they assemble these raw materials and manufacture these systems and sell it to the end customers. So what happens is that they would have these items produced in their Indian subsidiary, then they purchase it from the Indian subsidiary to their US subsidiary, which is sort of an intercompany trading relationships that they have. So because of this intercompany trading relationships, it becomes important that all these subsidiary companies exist within the same instance of the same application, that is Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. So this helps in maintaining the intercompany relationships and transactions. So let's have a quick recap of what we discussed in this particular video. So by now you would know that most of the data is maintained per legal entity, and some data like setup data or configuration data is shared across all the legal entities or companies. You also understood what are legal entities? Well, they are nothing but the different companies. Well, with this, we conclude this video. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel. Also like and share the content as well. And we'll meet you in the next episode. Bye for now.